time for Kai's Korner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Good morning here at beautiful Drive Pink Stadium. I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. As always, the producer of all producers, the host of Square Circle Digest, who's here with me every single morning, Mr. Sean Stanley.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very great. I usually, as we round out these weeks and we get into Friday, I start to have a little bit of a, less energy. But today, I'm doing pretty good, energy-wise.
That's the first time you've ever been very great. Usually you're just great, and now it's very great.
I've had a good week. I've had a really good week. I've had some positives in terms of potentially getting a promotion at my current place of employment, so I'm very excited about that. Nothing that's been officially, actually confirmed, and nothing I can really control right now, but it seems like the people who would make decisions once I'm able to actually get, past things, all appreciate and would try to help me get through as much as possible. So I'm very excited about that. A lot of positives, along that side. What else? I mean, we got a lot. I know Toast said that there's not really a lot of sports for him to watch, but I'm so excited for what's going to happen this weekend. I mean, tomorrow is just a fantastic day of sports, in my opinion. I guess for people like myself who are soccer fans, we have the UCL final, which I'll be talking about here a little bit later into the show. And then on top of that, we also have Inter Miami playing DC United, and that's going to be another night game, and that's going to be finally with full capacity crowds. And I know a lot of people are very, they're very excited for it, and they're very, ready to finally kind of get back to that sort of sense of normalcy. Now, I believe there's still going to be a mask requirement in the stadium, if I'm not mistaken, and I know that they have it. Listen, I guess the best way to put it as well is we know that there are some people who aren't wearing masks, and I know there have been people who have been maybe a little bit critical of some of the stuff that I've put out video-wise on Twitter because, of course, there are some people that aren't wearing masks. But at the end of the day, I don't think that it's really anything that big. I think that, at least right now, in terms of what everything's happening, I think the biggest thing is that we're going full capacity. It'll be interesting to see kind of how it all rolls. I mean, going and being I feel like it was was it a month ago or maybe a month and like a week or a month and a half when the Rangers went full capacity. And I remember everyone, including myself, just thinking at that time, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe that we're going full capacity right now. I can't believe that we're really going out there and, kind of putting more people at risk, and we hadn't had, as many vaccines as possible and everything like that. And everyone has their own thoughts on everything, and you have your opinions. It's why you're in this world. It is what it is. But I think we're at a point right now where I guess a lot more people are getting vaccinated and things are opening up. I would, aid on the side of caution if you are coming to the game, and just, make sure that you keep yourself safe as much as you possibly can. And at the end of the day, I think anyone coming. It's a night game right now. Again, 8:00. Against DC United here. I think it's going to be amazing. The stadium was electric with 8,000 fans. I can only imagine what it's going to be like with the full capacity of 18,000. Like, that is going to be something different, and we haven't experienced it yet. We haven't had a chance to have this stadium at full capacity. So it's going to be really insane to kind of see how it gets packed up. I mean, I know at my current place of employment, there are a lot of people who I just, talk with, who I'm have a friendly relationship with, I guess is the best way to say it. And a lot of them are very excited. They're saying that they're going to come. They were buying group tickets and they're ready to get there. I was telling them, hey, listen, I know the supporter side tickets are a little cheaper. You go over there, just be wary that it's going to be a party. And if you want to sit down, some of them on the older side, so you want to sit down, you're not going to be able to sit down. So you better find a way to enjoy it as much as you can and be cautious. And like, I don't care, I want to be there. I want to be on that side. I want to do everything I can. So I think that's awesome. And I'm glad that we're, finally I guess, coming back to it a little bit and trying to hopefully get over this hump and turn a page on what was a new side of history, something that we had not experienced in a long time. I'm really since, I guess, would you say like the Black Death or we haven't experienced something like this in a really long time. And I think we're finally starting to turn the page. I definitely don't think we're fully there yet, but things are looking good, and we're going to have full stadium. So I'm excited for that. And then, like I said, the UCL final is coming on, and that's going to be, for anyone that enjoys soccer in any capacity, that is going to be, or should be, an awesome game. You have Chelsea with Christian Pulisic, Captain America as they call him. He's going to be there. He's going to hopefully have a big part in what they do, a big part in how they play, and hopefully he starts. Thomas Tuchel coached him and was his manager in Dortmund, and he played very well in Dortmund, enough to get himself a move to Chelsea, and he did so at a very young age. And I think that that's going to be a fantastic way to look at it. You have that, I guess, relationship there, and you have the opportunity for Chelsea to win another UCL final, and it's going to be the first time that you see an American play in the UCL final, if he does play, which I think everyone's expecting him to play. And then you have, the juggernaut in Manchester City, the team that Tito Benash has been telling me all season that's going to get to the final, when I laughed at him and said there's no way Bayern's going to blow past BSG and then they're going to blow past City, and of course I was incorrect, and now they're there. And it's Pep Guardiola and Kevin De Bruyne, and it's like all these players that have shown so much promise, and all these players who have worked so hard, like a Riyad Mahrez, and so many others who have been trying to come into the space and get that team over the hump. Phil Foden, Ilkay Gundogan. That should be that should be another outstanding game to watch. And I think in terms of soccer, you have a great weekend coming up in the world of sports. Now, when we turn into the flip side of it, I think we all expected to see a Game 7 this weekend between the Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Of course, that's not going to happen. I still think you have to give a round of applause to the Panthers. They did a fantastic job all season, and what they were able to accomplish, I don't think anybody who's even a Panthers fan saw coming. I don't think anybody like myself or others who got into the sport recently saw coming. I think that that's fantastic for the Panthers, and hopefully we continue to see some more hype around them, and especially considering, I don't even think it's just because the Heat were losing. I think there really was some huge hype around the Panthers that actually grew into having actual hype around them, and not just this kind of like false sense of hope. I think that there was really something around the Panthers that became substantial, and I think that that's perfect. And I want to continue to see that, not only as someone who's now more of a fan and has now become emotionally attached to the team, but also just because I think that it's great for the game of hockey that they're going to be able to get more eyes on it. It's the same thing I see with, soccer here in America, where it's not as popular. And then, of course, you have the Miami Heat. And when we round out everything about the weekend and how many people are going to be into sports and what's going to happen and who's going to be watching, I think the most appropriate way to talk about the Miami Heat and to give the best thing that we can say about them is to have like 10 seconds, moment of silence, because that's just, I feel like you at home or however you can be, you just have to sit there and just give the Heat a little moment of silence yourself, because that was just, I don't even, the best way to say it is the same thing that we said the past week. Just with the last game, it's just embarrassing, man. Like, it really is just embarrassing. And I don't think you can say it anything else. I really just don't think that you can say it anywhere else other than it's a bad matchup. And it's not Heat in 5. It's not Heat in 6. And I think it's safe to say it sure as hell is not Heat in 7. They're down 3-0. I don't think that they're going to come back. I'd be stunned. Honestly, I'd be stunned if the Heat came back. You look at this, it's just, I don't even think stunned would be the right word. We'd have to be living in an alternate reality in which the Heat all of a sudden knew how to do anything. They really seem like they just can't operate. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what happened from what we saw game 1. They're just getting blown out of the water. Absolutely blown out of the water. And it's upsetting. I think all of us can be upset with that, because you expect the Heat to be a good team, and you expect them to be competing. And I don't even talk about them in the bubble sense of things, but I just think you expect them to be competing. And I think when you think of the Miami Heat, you think of Miami Heat basketball. Again, I think it's the same thing. You just continue to think that you're going to see a productive team. And that brings us into our roundtable for today. And I want to make sure I cover it now before anything else goes on and anything else happens with today's show, so we just don't forget it. And the roundtable for today says, what disappointed you most about the Heat loss last night? Is there something to blame, or was this team overrated coming off of last year's bubble run? And it references what I just said there. I don't think that there's this sense of craziness maybe happening and overhype happening over the bubble. I think we all had these expectations of the Miami Heat, and I think we all had the sense of, okay, the Heat should be a good team. The Heat should be getting there, whether it's the finals, whether it's the conference finals, whatever. They should be in the playoffs. That was the big thing, is that the Heat should be in the playoffs. And I think we come down to it and we looked at it, maybe the bubble did get us a little bit too excited. Maybe the bubble did kind of make us have a false reality of what we thought this team actually was. And, you know, I personally don't think that the team we saw in the bubble is the same team that we saw now. And I don't, like, obviously, you know, clearly what you see on the, you know, the court, but I don't think it's even a realistic side of the Heat. I don't think that the bubble that we saw, like the bubble side of the Bucks, was the actual Bucks that we saw. Yes, they've gotten better. Yes, there's some new players that are in there, and it's more development, and you kind of get over that loss, and you kind of get your, like I say, get your bike back, right? I don't think that what we saw in the bubble was a portrayal of what the Miami Heat actually were, and I think that that's what makes everything worse, because we didn't see the Miami Heat. We saw some other faction of a team that was not what we were expecting, not what we saw throughout the entire year, I think. So I think the bubble, maybe people overrated them because of the bubble, but I never looked at the bubble and thought, all right, this is a great team that they made so much progress. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. I saw, okay, they should get into the playoffs again, and they should be able to try to get back up and make things happen. But I don't know. I don't see the bubble thing as being the overrated. But then the most disappointing thing, I think it's this thing I've been saying and preaching for who knows how long now, in like a month or two. It's just, again, it's not Miami Heat basketball, and it's not what we're used to seeing. And I know that I'm stressing that, and I know people might be like, oh, well, you know, you can argue we haven't seen Miami Heat basketball in a while. It's what we saw in Game 2, what we saw in Game 3, and what we're inevitably probably going to see in Game 4 is just the Heat getting absolutely embarrassed. And I think that's the biggest issue that we're coming across, is that we're seeing a team that's getting flat out embarrassed, and that's not what we're used to seeing. It's the most disappointing part is it's embarrassing. Like, it just is. It is absolutely embarrassing that this is the Heat team that we're seeing on the court, and this is the Heat team that we're seeing wear those jerseys. Enough of the vice versa. Enough of this mock that's coming out about the new jerseys next season that they're going to try to rock. Everything comes down to the court, and I think everyone gets blamed from it, from the players to the coaches. Everyone should get a piece of blame for it, but the biggest disappointment is that they're just so, it's embarrassing to watch. I mean, I saw post games yesterday going live way before the game was even over, because there's no point. There's just no point to be sitting there and watching the team play when they just continue to play poorly, and they continue to show you that they don't deserve to have you watching. I really think that that's kind of where you come down with everything. So that's all I have to say. It's just, I think it's embarrassing, and I think you look at it and you feel embarrassed to watch this team out there on the court, because it's not the Miami Heat that we're used to seeing. That's my takeaway on the roundtable there. Like I said, we're going to have on, I mentioned this in the crosstalk with Toast for anyone who's here listening live. We're going to have on Gadiel Cartagena. He's going to come in the segment following this next one, so he'll be here at around 10:34, 10:38, around there. He'll come in and we'll talk Miami Heat more in depth with Gad, and then I think we'll talk more so about kind of the ramifications of the offseason and maybe other things, even though the series isn't over. We all know the series is over. We'll talk about a lot of that at 11:20 with Alana Tahauer, because we'll get into more things with her along that side. So if you want to continue to hear really good Heat coverage, and you want to hear two guys who know a lot and will definitely be sounding off when they come up this Monday, you can catch Inside the Paint with Ethan Skolnick and Ira Runderman. That's the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint Show. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business and get your year-round insight every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations.
Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
WLESPN, broadcasting from a largely empty building.
And we do sports. It's just not local.
Shush, honey.
Why is the building empty?
Because whether it be budget cuts or stupid management, we fired almost everybody.
Ooh, but we still have our job right and local.
At least the building is.
We've got your sports.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This Inter Miami CF Minute is brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world and a great place to watch Inter Miami CF. Stout features Clonakilty whiskeys, the world's best Irish whiskey.
As Inter Miami are set to take on DC United this Saturday night at Drive Pink Stadium, they might have a couple of people coming back off injury that might make some changes to the starting 11. Nico Figal and Kelvin Leardom both seem to be a lot healthier and are in training, so they might be able to make their starts and bring some stability to the back line. Pizarro, who had a slight knock and didn't make the trip to Chicago, could enter the starting 11 as well, but I expect still to see Federico Higuain as the number 10. You'll obviously have Lewis Morgan out wide and Gonzalo Higuain up top, and the midfield will be run by the two, Matuidi and Gregory.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
So, I know it's been a topic of conversation for quite some time now, considering that it's now official. But, Sean, did you hear Trevor Lawrence and how he talked about good old Timothy Tebow the other day? He made some interesting comments.
Talked very well of him. I think he's scared of him. He understands that Tim Tebow is the Jacksonville Mafia.
He is Jacksonville's own. I guess he is the heart of Jacksonville, wouldn't you say? Kind of the guy, the only guy. The golden one, the chosen one.
Yeah, he's the Jacksonville chosen one, yeah.
So I find it interesting just because we've only seen very small things happening with Tebow. And, of course, I guess if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you don't want to have too much coming out yet. I just find that quote interesting. It says, no one is going to work harder than him. Those are the kind of guys you want in your locker room and you want to be around every day. I'm excited to see what he can do on the field as well. It's just kind of a blanket statement, don't you think? It's just kind of.
Well, I mean, the guy's out selling them jersey-wise. You can't go crazy right now.
Don't you find that crazy? I mean, Tebow had not even been officially announced yet. His jersey number had not been officially announced yet, and he had the top 5 selling things on NFL Shop. That it's the biggest money.
Again, that's
ever.
why Jacksonville brought him back. Who is going to talk? Look, I get it. They have the number 1 pick in Trevor Lawrence, everything else. That still doesn't move the needle to where they're on, Get Up, on all these shows throughout the day, all the talking heads. Nobody's talking Jacksonville Jaguars if Tim Tebow isn't there.
I find it so insane. Peter Schrager talked about it, and he was saying how when it comes down to it, you look at Jacksonville, and when Jacksonville was winning, just a few years ago, they were talking about Jacksonville all the time on Good Morning Football. And then at the same time, when you look at it and you think about it, when Jacksonville was doing good, everything was good in Jacksonville. It was Saxonville, it was Duval, and everyone was happy, right? Then they get the number 1 pick, and it's going to be Trevor Lawrence no matter what. And still, it's like the topic of conversation, how people go about it. It's just like, all right, well, yeah, it is what it is. They got Trevor Lawrence, but this dude, Tim Tebow, he's going to be a guy. He's top selling jersey, number 85. It even got to the point where one of my favorite players that's come into the NFL, and someone that I looked at when he played, and I was just like, this is a dude that runs hard as hell. I love him. He's great. Brandon Jacobs came out and said, as a 38-year-old running back, right, that he is going to, and he'll turn 39, I believe, before the season starts. He said he's thinking about a serious comeback as a defensive end, saying jokingly that I am really serious about coming back as a defensive end. I can still run. I am strong, and there's no way Tim Tebow is a better athlete than I am. I just need a shot. That's it. If I can't cut it, I'll take it like a man. Just give me one more chance. That's all. He tweeted it saying, well, since Tebow came back after being off a good bit, I'm announcing that today I will come back. I'll play defensive end for whatever team gives me the chance. On top of that, there was Rob Ninkovich who said that he could pick up Tebow right now and tackle him and throw him to the ground. What do you think what do you think it is with Tebow? Do you think everyone just absolutely hates him? What do you think it is with all these players? Do you think, because I've heard people come out and say, Sean, that he's taking up a spot, and I'm sure that he is taking up a roster spot. When you look at that team and you look at the tight ends on the roster, they don't have any tight ends, and you look at the team and you look at, or I guess some of the tight ends that are available. People mentioned Tyler Eifert. Oh, they could go out and get Tyler Eifert. You know what's funny? Tyler Eifert was a Jacksonville Jaguar, and now he's not. And he used to be very good for the Cincinnati Bengals, and then now he's not there. And they traded him to I don't know if he was traded or he was picked up, but he was with Jacksonville, and now it didn't cut it. And on top of that, nothing will, as we just said, move the needle like Tebow does.
Well, that's the whole thing that everybody's forgetting about. Yes, they can go out and sign whoever they want, but nobody's going to bring eyes to their product that Tebow will. Remember, when he was coming out of the draft many moons ago, a lot of people wanted Jacksonville to bring him in just to bring him in. Bring him in because he's going to put butts in the seats or anything like that. And now you're seeing it. And again, do other people deserve that spot? Probably, definitely. You have all the tight ends that didn't get drafted in the draft, but none of them are going to make Jacksonville the money or the ROI or the NFL money the way Tim Tebow will.
It has, I don't know. It literally makes no sense to me how everything was falling, because it's just why are you going to get so, why are you going to get so upset and mad and I guess heated about Tebow and how everything happened? The dude literally moves the needle. What's going to happen? You think these are listed tight ends right now in terms of what they have, and this is from SproTrack, in terms of guys that are available right now. You have a good amount of guys, right, that are available to go after. And let me ask you which one of these is going to move the needle. For those who are upset about Tebow, right, let me ask you which one of these is move the needle. Jesse James had one famous thing in Pittsburgh from a touchdown being called back. That's about it. Besides that, Jesse James hasn't been anything. Tyler Eifert was very, very good for the Cincinnati Bengals, and then he started getting injured, and then he went to Jacksonville. And if Jacksonville really saw something out of Tyler Eifert, he'd still be there now. He's a free agent. Josh Hill, not going to do anything. Virgil Green used to be a little bit of a interesting prospect when he was on the Broncos. Not anymore. Michael Pruitt, not going to do anything for you either. He was in Tennessee. Tennessee already had 2 really good tight ends. They decided to let one of them go in a Jonnu Smith, and they have Anthony Firsker there, who was also very good. Pruitt's not going to do much. Demetrius Harris, Jordan Reed, on and off injuries. He was there with San Francisco. We know what he could have been. We know what he was when he was with the Washington football team, but nothing more really. Luke Stalker, he's not going to do anything. Trey Burton, he's not going to do much either. Jeff Swaim, not going to do anything. Richard Rodgers, I guess potentially you could say there's a little bit there. Seth Duvall, no. Ross Dwelly, no. Like, which one of these guys are you really going to look at and you're going to say, yeah, that player is going to do a lot for me right now? None of them. Not a single one. Not a single one is going to help the Jacksonville Jaguars in any way. And yes, their tight end room sucks. And yes, they could probably use some help in other places. But even, take it from this way, right? No one was going to look at the Cincinnati Bengals, even with Joe Burrow there. They looked a few times, and that was it. Because why are you going to look at a team that sucks, a team that can't protect their quarterback? This year with Jacksonville, you'd look at the first 2 starts maybe of Trevor Lawrence, then you'd be like, all right, well, Jacksonville sucks. We'll see what happens in a year or 2 if Trevor's still there and how the team looks and where they can progress. That's what you'd look at. That's what you'd sit in there and say, okay, now I can look at the team. Now I can have an opinion on the team. Until then, there's nothing you can really say and there's nothing you can do because Jacksonville's going to suck. If Tebow somehow makes the roster, if Tebow is there by the final cuts and he is a player on the team for the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're going to tune into every game for one of multiple reasons. A, you're a part of the crowd that wants Tebow to, for whatever reason, do fantastic. B, you're a part of the crowd like a Rob Ninkovich that wants to see Tebow get drilled to the ground and bones broken and muscles torn and heart shattered because he's taking up a spot from someone else, even though that spot's not going to do anything for that team. Or 3, you just want to see the train wreck and you just want to see what the heck's going to happen because it's the Jacksonville Jaguars and then Tim Tebow. I mean, hell, Shad Khan was ready before COVID to give up another home game, to have 3 games potentially, or 2 to 3 games for the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. If there wasn't that big of a time difference in travel, I bet you he would have taken Jacksonville up and moved them out of Jacksonville and put them into London. They would be the London Jaguars. They play in London. It's, it's the thing. It's the big one there. Him, Shad Khan, Tony Khan, his son, they could up and move the Jaguars out of Jacksonville. Of course they would. You're not. The only reason why anyone even cares is because it's Tebow. And why are you going to care? It will never dawn on me why it's such a big deal. If he doesn't make the roster, then they saw that he wasn't able to make the roster, and he's not good. Like, if he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. It wasn't, he wasn't a good player. It didn't fit. No matter what. And I think Urban knows this. And, I want to get your thoughts on this too, Sean. You go and you cannot, as a head coach, look at your team after OTAs, after minicamp, after all this stuff, after training camp, going in there and seeing him play. You cannot look at your team and then say to yourself, we're going to cut this person and keep Tebow on the roster. You can't. You're going to lose your roster when you do that. You can't look at your team and say that if he's not performing at all.
No, but you're not going to be able to tell anything during OTAs. Again, I mean,
but I'm saying, like, once you get past minicamp and all this other stuff, if he's not, if he clearly isn't getting it, you can't look at your team and go, yeah, we're cutting this person and Tebow's staying on.
But you have 53-man roster. You have guys on the team now that don't. And again, here's the thing that I have a question for. I don't know that you lose the roster as long as, again, if he's showing you something, maybe leadership in the locker room, because he's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To instill the culture that is wanted by Urban Meyer.
Exactly, with Urban Meyer and things like that. Again, is it a college philosophy type thing? Probably. Will it work in the NFL? Probably not. But when you look at people that, and again, Tebow's not going to come in and be like, this is my team, I'm the leader, da-da. No, he's coming in to earn a position, and that's what that work ethic guys are going to see. And again, he earned the respect of a lot of guys when he was playing before. Was he the greatest? No, but he earned respect, and people didn't quit on him.
So you work hard. I think that's the thing is as long as you work hard, I don't think these guys are going to sit there and be like, all right, he's this, he's that. I think that they'll have a better opinion, but I don't understand.
I mean, if he's on the practice field and he's doing SEC this week and he's there and then he's making the team that way, then no. But if he's on the field and he's doing there, I don't think that he gets cut unless somebody else, like another tight end, becomes leaps and bounds above, because they don't have anybody.
They have no tight end.
And there's no chance that they're going anywhere this season. So what does it matter for a year to put him in there for at least the 6 home games you have? You'll sell a lot more tickets.
Yeah. People will pack the stadium to watch Tebow. They'll do it. Anyways, coming up, we'll have on Gadiel Cartagena, and he'll come on and we'll talk a lot about the Miami Heat, more in-depth stuff about the Miami Heat, and try to keep it, I guess, as positive as we can for Gad and just in general for everyone else, because, of course, there's a lot of stuff happening around the world and around the game of basketball and everything like that, and I want to get into the Kwame Brown versus Stephen A. Smith thing because that's going to be interesting as well. But besides that, I think we need to talk about the Heat and that loss in a more in-depth way, and Gad can help us a lot with that. Inter Miami CF fans, you can join us for every road game as we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. You can join Big O and Alex Dono and enjoy delicious food, incredible house drafts, and giveaways. Inter Miami CF fans, your new home for every road game is Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano at 1901 North Federal Highway. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and on Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast, and I've been telling you guys all about my buddies over at B&T Windows and Doors. And some of you said, hey, listen, Toast, I'd love to get PGT custom windows and doors installed, but funds are a little tight right now. No problem, bro. Y Green. You can finance it with B&T Windows and Doors through Y Green, so you can still get your PGT custom windows and doors installed. And yeah, you're not going to have to put anything down. It's awesome. That's the way I got mine installed. Call B&T Windows and Doors today. They'll tell you all about Y Green and how to finance your windows. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Apparently, there was some kind of basketball game supposed to be played at AAA last night, but the Miami Heat, they didn't show up. Their season almost over. One game to go, which will be tomorrow at 1:30. They lost to the Bucks 113-84. Jimmy Butler led the way with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also in the NBA playoffs last night, the Lakers, they take a 2-1 lead on the Suns with a 109-95 win, and the Nuggets up 2-1 on the Blazers after a 120-115 victory. The Miami Marlins, they failed to reach a 500 record once again, losing yesterday to the Phillies 3-2. Yimi Garcia picked up the loss. Marlins 12-12 at home this season, but they're hitting the road. They travel to Fenway Park for a weekend series with the Boston Red Sox. Cody Petit will get the start. First pitch, 7:10. Tomorrow night, right here at Dry Pink Stadium and also right here at OnSideRadio.com, a full-capacity crowd will watch Inter Miami CF welcome DC United to the pitch. Inter Miami CF pregame show with Big O and Alex Dono gets you started at 7 o'clock, and then the call of the match with Eric Krakauer, Thomas Rungan, Fernando Fiore. That's coming your way at 8 o'clock tomorrow night right here on the only locally owned South Florida sports talk station, OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. It's time to get upset and talk about some very upsetting things. The series is over, and we're getting someone on here that's going to be able to talk about it more in depth and maybe try to, well, actually, who knows? Maybe Gad's going to be a little bit different. But it's Gadiel Cartagena. You can follow him on Twitter at Gadiel. That's Gadiel, and then Cartagena. And if you're here in Miami, you should know how to spell that last one there. But Gad, man, what's wrong, man? What's going on?
I think we can start with what isn't wrong, and I don't know if there's an answer to that either. It has been absolutely brutal watching this Heat team play, especially for the last 2 games. Just painful, honestly. And credit to the Bucks. They've completely outclassed the Heat, whether it's coaching, personnel, front office, whatever it may be. They made all the right moves, and they had the right mindset going into the season and the series, as opposed to the Heat, who just simply didn't have it for probably a multitude of reasons. But I'm not going to try to make excuses for this team. The product that they put on the court has just been incredibly subpar. But
that's embarrassing.
As a fan and someone who really wanted to see the Heat at least make the series competitive, because I understood the Bucks are a really good team, I still ended up picking the Heat in the series because I let my bias cloud me. But it's been tough. It's been really tough to watch, and it's been tough to support this team these last 2 games. I mean, I'm going to continue to support them because these are my guys, but this showing is, like you said, embarrassing, and that's probably a nice way to put it.
Is it a nice way? I mean, it's just flat out embarrassing. I think you saw game 2, and I think all of us thought that has to be an anomaly, right, Gad? It has to be something where it's just right now you can't stop shooting like that. They're hot, and it is what it is. Come back, reset, game 3 at home. It's going to be a different story. Try to make it more like game 1. Try to make it more competitive. Stay close. And, I mean, hell, it was just from the jump, it was bad.
Yep. The game started, like 21-8, and then you could see it in the building. They were waiting for any moment to just start cheering for the team, just, take the top off the building.
Hell, they were counting free throws for Giannis.
Exactly. Like, they just it sucks because I think the fans showed up with the right mindset, and the team just did not give them enough to cheer for. They didn't give them anything to cheer for, if I'm being completely honest with you. It was absolutely brutal to watch, and it was it was painful to just see every single opportunity, every open three, every single rotation, all the loose balls, everything does not go the Heat's way. And I mean, now you're at the point where you really have to take a look in the mirror if you're the Miami Heat, and you have to figure out where you can improve, how you can improve, and how you can do it quickly, because your best player is either, I'm not sure if Jimmy's 31 or 32, but he's not getting any younger, and you saw that with Goran last year. His window kind of closed, and last year was his swan song, which got us to the finals, but ultimately the goal in the NBA is to win the NBA Finals. You don't want second place.
Yeah, I have it's hard to even fathom that this team is performing in the way that they are, because, and it's the thing I've been arguing, Gad, and I'm sure that people might get tired of hearing it, but my big thing is when I think of the Miami Heat, and I keep saying it, even in some of the seasons where they lost a lot, even some of the seasons like, 2008, 2009, where you're looking at them and you're not you're looking at a bad team. You still had fans showing up, even if it was the true diehards, they're showing up, and you still had it where you're like, okay, they might be losing, but there's bad, players on the roster. It's really just D-Wade and some other guys. And, at the end of the day, they're still playing Miami Heat basketball. They're playing hard on defense. They're doing everything they need to do. Is it safe to argue that just what we've seen throughout this season and now what we've seen in the past 2 games against the Bucks here in the playoffs is just far from anything Miami Heat basketball related?
Oh, this is the furthest thing from Miami Heat basketball.
This is like Sixers tanking basketball, right?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems with this team, I mean, you can talk X's and O's, and there's a bunch of explanations as to where this team falls short, and with personnel and whatnot and personnel decisions. But the biggest problem with this team is last year going into the bubble, they had that mental edge. Whether it was because they were in the bubble or not, they had the mental edge and the confidence that they could play with and beat anybody if they gave it their full effort for 48 minutes. This year, I don't know if they took it for granted because they made it to the finals last year. They thought they could turn it around or flip the switch, but they did not do that this year. They played like a team that was up 2-0. They looked really complacent last night as well, outside of Jimmy Butler, pretty much. They just didn't have the mental edge, and I couldn't pinpoint one reason as to why that may be, but if you are not the more talented team and you don't have the mental fortitude to play harder than the other team, then this is what the result is going to look like. They look like a team who was borderline a play-in team playing the entire year and is playing against one of the actual playoff or championship contenders in the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, and we're talking with Gadiel Cartagena again. You can follow him on Twitter at Gadiel and then Cartagena. That's Gadiel. Gad, I think one of the main things that everyone's thinking now is the series is over. I know the guys who are maybe living in a different world are going to try to say, we're going to do the impossible. We're going to do what's ever been done before. We're going to come back from a 3-0. It's done. And I think we now are going into the offseason where we're not even sure what's going to happen. I mean, no one knows if Victor Oladipo might come back on maybe a team-friendly deal or if whatever happens with him. Nobody knows what's going to happen to Duncan. No one's going to happen in the future with Tyler. We don't know what is going to go on. And seemingly what we thought was going to be a potential fun offseason has now burned to the ground. What do you think needs to happen for the Heat in order to get into next season with a completely different mindset and just wipe away what's happened so far in the series?
Well, I think now is not the time to get out on all of your younger players and younger assets, because at the end of the day, you're going to likely have to make a trade at some point to go all in on Jimmy Butler if you choose to go all in on Jimmy Butler's timeline, which I believe they should. I mean, Jimmy's earned that right based on what he's done over the last 2 years with the Miami Heat. But one thing that I want to see from this team is make an effort to get younger and more versatile, because what we saw more athletic as well. I kind of coincide that with getting younger. But what we saw from this Heat team this year is there was really only one recipe for success, and that was just shoot the ball well and then have Jimmy and Bam kind of finish inside. They didn't have anybody to take the pressure off of them, and they didn't have any athletes really. So they were kind of like an undersized team that was playing slower than everybody else. That doesn't really work unless you're shooting at an insanely efficient clip, and obviously they weren't able to do that this year. They were a subpar shooting team. I would like to see them just be able to run more different sets. They relied heavily on the dribble handoff, which worked at times, but you saw what the Bucks did. I mean, if you put a physical defender who's athletic, more athletic than Duncan, on him, you can almost phase him out of the game, and that's kind of what's happened throughout this series. So I think the Heat just being able to get guys that can either create and pick and roll, or they're just better cutters, more athletic, can get up and finish at the rim, or whatever it may be. I think the Heat definitely need to look at changing their approach. And that also goes in with the players that they currently have. Like, I think Coach Spoelstra can do a much better job of using Bam and putting him in position to succeed, not making excuses for his aggressiveness and whatnot. But if you move him around, you maybe can get Brook Lopez away from the basket, because if he's playing at the top of the key or on the elbow and he's not even looking at the basket, then Brook Lopez is just going to block every single shot at the rim. And the Heat aren't a good enough team to where they can not take shots at the rim. So it's going to be an interesting offseason to see how Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg and all those guys, all those people really look to improve the team. I couldn't tell you which direction they're going to go, but I hope they move in the direction of getting younger and maybe not completely abandon what they've been doing over the last few years, but really look to add some more wrinkles and reshape this offense a little bit, because this year, simply put, it was horrible, and it was inexcusable how bad this offense was. Independent of talent, there's no reason that a team with Jimmy and Bam should be this bad offensively on a consistent basis.
So you're still trying to stay at least a little bit positive, it sounds like. I mean, you definitely have the negatives there, but you're also trying to kind of maybe stay a little bit in reality here of what's like you're going to expect into the offseason. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I think there's a lot of overreaction, like maybe like Jimmy's window is closing. Bam isn't really worth the contract that he's given. He's not going to improve. He's plateauing. And those things could be true, but at the same time, I just don't believe them to be. I think what Jimmy showed you last year is if you have the right guys around him, then he can get you as far as you need to get to. I mean, we don't know what this team looks like in a series healthy against the Lakers. I can't tell you that they're going to win, but I can't tell you for sure that they're going to lose either. So just get yourself into the finals, and obviously you're in the conversation. And with Bam, I think it's he had good matchups against the Celtics, where that's where his real breakout happened on a national stage. And then we expected that to continue, but there's clearly holes in his game. And I think, at least he knows he kind of has a blueprint as to where he needs to improve. He needs to get much better as a post player. He needs to either become an assassin from the mid-range or learn to shoot a corner three so he can be more versatile in terms of the way that he's played, so that he can either play big or play small and not consistently just use a small lineup with Bam as your small ball five. There's many different ways in which Bam and also a lot of these young guys can improve. I think Bam in specific has that blueprint, and I don't think it's all bad for the Heat. They almost needed this, because the way as the roster was currently constructed, they caught lightning in a bottle going into the bubble, and they showed up. I mean, credit to them. They made it as far as they did, but the way that the teams improved around them, I think this year shows them that what they did wasn't sustainable, and they need to make sizable talent improvements in order to get to where they want to be.
Gad, thank you so much, man. Great stuff. I appreciate you coming on. Again, you can follow him on Twitter at Gadiel Cartagena. That's Gadiel and then Cartagena. And again, if you're living in Miami, you should be able to spell that last one perfectly. Gad, have as great of a weekend as you can, man, and enjoy the burn down of this season.
Thank you. I can't wait to watch Game 4 and 45 Precious Achua minutes. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Oh, going to love it. You're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. Of course, this is OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
At OnsideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork and our Chirping the Cats report.
It was a fun season, but as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. The Panthers put up a good fight in forcing a Game 6, but that was as far as they would get, as the defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning knocked out the Cats with Wednesday's 4-0 win. Rookie goaltender Spencer Knight did what he could to keep Florida in the game, stopping 20 shots, including several point-blank opportunities during the first two periods, but it was Tampa goalie Andrei Vasilevsky that stole the show. The likely Vezina Trophy finalist was a brick wall, stopping everything the Panthers threw his way and frustrating the Cats at every turn. Now Tampa will move on to face the winner of the Carolina-Nashville series, while Florida will head back to Sunrise, clean out their lockers, and head into the offseason wondering what could have been.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching Onside Radio, your home for South Florida sports. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. I don't know if I should be concerned about this. I'm going to have to send this over to my father and ask him. Father, if you're listening, I'm about to text you. I got an email from Ocean Mazda, which is where I go and get my car service. It says, "Hi, Kai Chen," and my name isn't spelled correctly, which is another issue. And it says, "Congratulations on your purchase of a 2014 Mazda 3. I don't know if, this is because I just got service done. Maybe you think it's, because I got service done recently, and I had an appointment reminder, and my vehicle is a 2014 Mazda 3. Should I be concerned that it said new purchase of a Mazda 3? Maybe you think someone purchased a Mazda 3 at Ocean Mazda with my name on it? That could be concerning.
Is it the right email address?
Yeah, it's their email address. It's the one that I got sent all the emails from, and it's everything. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should be concerned at all. I don't think so, right? Everything should be fine. It's just a coincidence, let's say. I'm wondering what the heck is going to go on. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, it was good talking with Gad. Good stuff from him, and he really, like I said, it's kind of going into the more so analytic side of things rather than just kind of the overreaction. But we'll get that a lot from Alana when she comes on, and we'll kind of get into more of the, I guess, doom and gloom side of things than more of the analytical stuff. But Gad's always great, so I encourage anyone who doesn't already follow him. I think that he deserves to have a lot, because him and Ariel Atias, they both do a fantastic job going into analytics and very specific things. So again, you can follow him on Twitter at Gadiel Cartagena, and that's Gadiel and then Cartagena, and you can go ahead and follow him there. So that'll be good, and get him some more love and some more looks as well. So every Thursday night, and last night they had another one, from 7 to 9 p.m. you can catch Fight Night with Alex Donald and James Walker. It's the show dedicated to combat sports, from UFC to boxing to bare knuckle brawling. Alex and James provide combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. You can tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Donald and James Walker. You can search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast. May is here, which means hurricane season right around the corner. You need to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your house so that you're fully protected when we get a big storm coming on through. For those windows, only one place to call. My buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. They've been doing it in South Florida for decades, and they will set you up with the best of the business. PGT custom windows and doors. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126 for B&T Windows and Doors.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
This Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard will be broadcasting live from Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world. Stout features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey. So come on out this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Red Card Radio live from Stout Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale.
At Onside Radio, we're your home for all sports, and we give gaming culture the platform it deserves.
Congratulations to Sony and talent agency Endeavor as they have finalized their purchase of the Evolution Championship Series. EVO, as it is known, is one of the longest-running esports tournaments and focuses on fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. After being canceled last year due to COVID-19, EVO 2021 will be held virtually this August.
Keep up with the latest in gaming and e-news daily. Subscribe to Onside Radio on most platforms. Your home for gamers worldwide. OnsideRadio.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of Onside Radio, ownership, management, sponsors, website, or Inner Miami Marketing, LLC. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Hour number 2. Here at beautiful Drive Pink Stadium, I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Samurai Radio. That's at SAMURAIIRADIO. And of course, with me every single morning, producer extraordinaire, the host of the Square Circle Digest, Mr. Sean Stanley. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Kai Chen Chisholm.
How are you?
It is an honor to be here for hour number 2.
It's an honor to be with you every single morning, Sean.
Not as much as honor is for me, sir.
Nah, not as my honor is better. You know, I feel I'm with the honorable Sean Stanley. That's the best way to put it. There you go.
Okay.
So we just gotta. I don't want to spend a whole segment on it again, but we just got some Tebow footage. Tim Tebow running some routes. It's 5 seconds.
Running routes, and did you see him with the hands up blocking?
Yep.
The biceps bulging.
You know, that's like like a little. I don't even think you can even call that an in route, out route. Like it's just, you know. God, imagine. Gotta be so mad. Imagine being that trainer. You train all these great tight ends all the time, and then it's Tim Tebow coming through. It's so funny to me.
Tim Tebow probably the one they remember the most.
Yeah, for sure. The dude who tweeted is Mark Long from the AP Mark Long, and he tweeted the video and said, "I sense Hall of Fame." I love the world. I'm buying a Tim Tebow jersey when I'm not broke.
What happens if he comes out and he's okay? I'm not saying he's going to come out and be.
People are going to hate it.
But he comes out and he has a decent season. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
people are going to be. If he hits the over on that 2.5 touchdowns, people are going to hate it.
I think if he makes a team, I think he gets it.
Oh, for sure. If he makes a team, he's going to get at least 3. Like if I was a betting man, which I am definitely not, because as everyone knows here, I'm very terrified of the government. If I was a betting man, I would 100% put some money on the over for 2.5 touchdowns. And we don't even know if he's going to make the team yet. Like, because do we know if that was, because I know Toast mentioned it, do we know if that was just overall touchdowns or was it receiving touchdowns? Because if it's receiving touchdowns, then maybe I have to think about it. But if it's touchdowns in general, he's hitting that over for sure.
Well, they're going to end up blinding him at like a halfback and handing off the ball to him sometimes, or do a direct snap with him in the backfield with Lawrence.
Oh,
Separate it and direct snap right to him. I'm telling you, you're going to have different formations you can do. And I'm not saying he's going to come out and be like this worldly guy because, again, it's a new position. But I still think, look, when you're an athlete at that level, not saying it's going to be easy, not all that stuff, but to get a couple good catches and good touchdowns to be average, I think you can do that. Because I don't think they're going to have him blocking. No. He's going to be in formation. He's going to be split out. I don't think they're going to have it to where you can rub him.
Dude, imagine
things
Tebow
like that.
in the slot. Oh, my God.
I think you're going to end up seeing stuff like that. Though.
I know, it's just so crazy.
Because I don't think you're going to have him get down and put his hand in the dirt. Because you saw how that worked out that one time with the Jet when we did the dig. I think it's the highlight with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And the ball hits him in the helmet. I mean,
and it was. I mean, I don't think it was even like the ball. I think got there too early, and it's from Sanchez.
It was a rush
Sanchez
throw.
Throws it right to his helmet. I need to see how much. God, if he is play, I need to see how much preseason tickets are for the Jaguars, because I would be so interested in going. They have one game, and it's against the Browns. Oh, man. to have money. Jeez. I need to get this promotion. Because I get this promotion, I'm going. They're charging. Whoa. You see?
Yes, they are.
Look at this. For a preseason game? $37 to sit in the 400s?
The Tebow Premium.
For the 400s?
No, honestly, I think that's probably the going rate for most teams, honestly. 34 is not that bad.
I paid $37 like a ticket a while ago, like in Brian Flores' first season. It was the first preseason game, and I remember it was 4 of us, me, two of my friends who are siblings, and another one of our friends, and we paid like $35 a piece to sit in the hundreds. This is $37 to sit in the 400s at the top of the bowl. That is ridiculous. It definitely doesn't look like 400 seats, I guess, because the Jaguars stadium is different, but that's ridiculous. The picture that they have, this is hilarious. The picture they have is of them, and the score says Jaguars 20, Texans 3. This is so funny. Oh, my God. No way I'm paying that much. No, not even no chance. That's a ridiculous amount of money. Like, what? How much are... Okay, well, we'll find this out here. I just cannot wait to see the outcome there. Again, I just think it's so... I think it's just so interesting to be able to see what's going to happen. To be able to try to just even get there. Like, if those tickets, if I can find something cheaper, I might just do a show from the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium. And just do it while watching the Browns. Like,
got a nice place there, Daly's place. That's a very, very good facility there.
I don't even think I've ever stepped foot in Jacksonville. Like, I think even like all around Florida, I've been to Sweetwater, I've been to Tampa, I've been to Clearwater, I've been to, I think I've been like on the west side of Florida. I don't really remember, but like that, I've never, ever. Gainesville, of course. Never been to Jacksonville. I don't think I would ever. Like, is Jacksonville even a nice area?
Well, apparently you don't travel out of Florida a lot because you have to pretty much go through Jacksonville on 95 to get to Georgia. Or
if I do go, like if I travel around, I usually I'm like on a plane.
Enjoy the world, man. Get out in the
I
car
want
every
to
once
so
in a while.
bad.
You gotta be the worst flyer with the way you are, like sneezing and allergies. You got to be the worst to fly with.
Oh, no, it's actually
I think I would give you drugs to knock you out.
It's actually not that bad when I'm on a plane. I actually, being on a plane, too, is one of my favorite things because any work that I have to do, I just do it. No, I just get like a coffee and I do any work I need to do. I enjoy being on a plane a lot. Just listen to music and do work. And it's good because I'm just sitting there doing it. And I've always loved flying because whenever I was younger with my dad, we'd always fly to Vegas, because that's where my grandma and my family lived. So we were always flying to Vegas and always going around. And it was fun. It was nice. Good to experience. But I love flying. Like, that's one thing. But I want to go to so many places. Like, I want to go to Denver really bad just because I want to see kind of I want to see, like, Denver, Utah, those, like, the mountain areas. Just because Vegas has some mountains on, like, the outskirts, and it's a lot of fun to climb. I used to do so as a kid. My dad always sends me pictures of them. But I want to be able to do that, like, really bad. And that's one of the things that I think I look at. Like, I really want to. Getting drunk on a plane is fun. You know, I've never had a drink on a plane. I think my biggest issue with drinks, like the brunch I went to last weekend, I really like to feel, and maybe it's just because I have always been like a reserved person when it comes to drinking. I always like to make sure that I know where I'm at in the moment and never anywhere else. Like, I want to know I'm Kai, I'm here, nothing else is going on in the world. So I think maybe that like as attributes to it, but I've never had a drink on a plane, and I never really get like drunk. I'll drink, but never to the point where I'm like drunk or I don't know where I'm at. And the other thing is I just get really giggly. So I imagine if I'm like drunk on a plane, I'm just going to be laughing and I'll be a real nuisance to everybody. I'll be like that kid that's kicking your chair. Not like that I would do that, but in terms of the annoying level. And then I'd be like the person that is like just annoying on planes. But I'm sure it is fun. I'm sure it's fun as hell. Drinking is fun. Not that I don't do it a lot, but it's fun when you get to drink and you have a little bit of fun. And my whole thing is I just get super giggly. And I only want it to get to the point where I can like know where I'm at. And the other thing is too, whenever I drink, at the point where I'm about to get drunk, I start to get a headache. So it's like a perfect like signal to my brain. All right, cut it. That's good. You're good. So like once I'm at that point, I'm in that good place. I'm just kind of feeling it. But I do want to be able to travel a lot. Sean, where have you like? I know I'm sure you traveled like the States, but where also? Oh, I almost got darn Schefter a second ago. Where else have you kind of like been around in the world? Like, is there any place that you've been where you say to yourself, I absolutely like want to go back, or if I had the chance to just go and up and leave, then like you would? Like, is there anywhere that you think is the big thing there?
No, I'm pretty happy here, but I was lucky enough and fortunate enough when I was in the military to hit some good places. Cape Town, South Africa. I did the Panama Canal, Cartagena, Bogota, Colombia. Not that it was a great place, but, you know, to go to some of those places and see. Again, this is back in a few years ago. Many few years ago. But, you know, those places, Rio de Janeiro, I got to see. You know, things like that. It was nice to see. I don't know that I would, like, you know, want to stay there, but to go and visit and then leave, yeah, I mean, I'd do it again.
Is there anywhere in Europe that you've been where you're like?
No, I was pretty much like over the South America area and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to Peru and stuff like that. I mean, nothing crazy. I've never been over to Europe area.
I've never been directly in Europe, which is another thing. Like that's one I was talking about it yesterday too, and I tweeted it out. And I think I mentioned it. I mentioned it on the show probably a few times, but me and my friends were talking and joking about it yesterday. Like, I am in the sort of mindset where if for whatever reason, right, someone Bundesliga wise gets my email or whatever, and whatever, like, hey, we want to offer you a job. We'll teach you German while you're here. We want to have you start on like the English side of the Bundesliga and then kind of get you accustomed to other things and working for us, maybe doing whatever. I would 1,000% up and leave and go to Germany. Like, that's just, I will leave America. Like, if they're like, we need you to come in 2 weeks, I'd be like, all right, 2 weeks everywhere that I'm at. You got 2 weeks to see me in America, and I'm gone. I'm gone, going to Germany, never coming back. I think that's like, I'll come back, but obviously, you know, I think that's the one thing is like, I think also in Europe, like, imagine you can just go, you could be in Germany, you can be all these places, and it's like a car ride, it's a train ride away from other countries that you can just go and explore. Like, I think that's so awesome to just be able to go out and, like, you can be in, you know, Germany, and you're like, all right, you know what, I want to go over to Belgium. You can go drive over, you can like take a train or a plane in Belgium. It's probably 2-3 hours. France, you can go there. Spain, Portugal, Italy, like the UK. I mean, that's so awesome. For us, it's like, you know, like, we can go from, I guess it's also the other thing with Florida, because in some other, like, you know, states in the U.S., like, you can go out and you can kind of go and tour. Like, I think the big thing for me too is, like, I see a lot of things where I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but it's like in the middle of America, and we can't, like, I can't just up and leave to the middle of America. But if I'm sitting there and, like, what's a very interesting middle part? If I'm in Indiana, you can literally just go across Illinois. You can go up to Wisconsin and go watch, like, you know, go to Milwaukee. You can go to all these different places. New York's not that far. Like, we're at, like, the most bottom part of everything in the United States besides, like, the bottom half of Texas, where everything is just so far from us. It's like, it's what, like 4 hours just to get to Disney or, like, Tampa area. And it's like, what, Orlando. It's like, what, another 4 hours to get into Georgia. So you're driving 8 hours just to get there. So I don't know. Like, I just want to go to Europe so bad. One of my girlfriend's really good friends told us, she was like, hey, whenever you want to go to Europe, I will plan your entire trip. And I was like, yes, please. And I've gotten, like, I will please plan our entire trips. I will love every single part of it. She loves Germany too, so she'll know exactly where I would want to go. I'm telling you, man, don't be surprised if one day, if I have any sort of opportunity, I just up and leave America and just go to Germany. Just don't be surprised at all. Anyways, every Saturday at 11 a.m., soccer fans, you can connect with Austin Roblard and Red Card Radio. From the Premiership to the MLS, catch up with your favorite team, including our very own Inter Miami CF. They play tomorrow. Make sure you come out. It's going to be a good game. If you don't already have tickets, you should. Full capacity stadium. You can listen to Red Card Radio every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1, and tomorrow he's doing it at a different bar or restaurant, so that'll be cool. And I believe Austin told me he's going to stay after his show And he's
It's gonna
also
be at Stout.
Scout or Stout?
Stout.
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 He's
right
doing
on Andrews off of Commercial.
There you go. He's doing it there. It's really close to the stadium, I believe. And on top of that, I remember he said, if I'm not mistaken, that he's going to go out and stay for the UCL final and watch it there. I think I'm going to be there with him as well to watch it. So if anyone wants to come out and not only hear his show and watch Austin, but also be able to go and watch the UCL final before you can come over here and then watch the game. So that's awesome. Again, that's Red Card Radio here at Onside Radio every single Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Austin Robillard.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
WLESPN, broadcasting from a largely empty building.
And we do sports. It's just not local.
Shush, honey.
Why is the building empty?
Because whether it be budget cuts or stupid management, we've fired almost everybody.
Ooh, but we still have our job live and local.
At least the building is.
We've got your sports.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At ChaseRoofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. ChaseRoofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust ChaseRoofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This Inter Miami CF Minute is brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world and a great place to watch Inter Miami CF. Stout features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey.
As Inter Miami are set to take on DC United this Saturday night at Drive Pink Stadium, they might have a couple of people coming back off injury that might make some changes to the starting 11. Nico Figal and Kelvin Leardom both seem to be a lot healthier and are in training, so they might be able to make their starts and bring some stability to the back line. Pizarro, who had a slight knock and didn't make the trip to Chicago, could enter the starting 11 as well, but I expect still to see Federico Higuain as the number 10. You'll obviously have Lewis Morgan out wide and Gonzalo Higuain up top, and the midfield will be run by the two, Matuidi and Gregory.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, so if you thought that what we got from Gad was analytical. What we're about to get from Alana is going to be, I believe, both analytical and then sort of some stress relief, kind of getting out of the norm and getting into a different angle of things with the Miami Heat. Of course, it's Alana Tahauer. You can follow her on Twitter at Alana, and then Tahauer, not spelled the way you think it would be. It's Tachauer. Alana, first of all, I know you went to game 1, and that was interesting. And now game 2, game 3, both just horrible. How are you feeling?
First off, can I just say your introductions are my favorite. This is like part of the reason that I love coming on here. I never know what to expect.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How am I feeling? I don't know how I'm feeling. I tried to get a workout in before this to get my endorphins flowing. I'm sipping on some coffee. I'm trying to bring some happiness to everyone's life. But listen, the last 2 games, they were really hard to watch. And I cannot believe we're in the situation right now. I didn't necessarily see us coming out of the first round. I had been saying if we make it out, it'll have to be in 7. But to get swept, which is now on the horizon, that really hurts.
Yeah, I think the season isn't over yet, but everyone already knows it's done. And I feel like for me, the best way to say it, and it's the same way I told Gad, it's how I've been kind of talking about it throughout the week, is it really just is embarrassing, right? That this is kind of the product that we're seeing coming out on the court rather than something like game 1. Of course, you can't expect that every single game, and I think we're seeing a lot of these playoff games are getting very high scoring and a lot of them kind of being a little bit of blowouts. But what's happening with the Heat right now, it's something short of just saying embarrassing, right?
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I was actually talking to Adam last night about this, and I think that I might be the only one who doesn't have that perspective. Obviously, this isn't great, but for me, it's not about proving stuff to other people. I know Heat Twitter is kind of up in arms trying to defend themselves, and even people, in the national media are trying to come after not only the team, but its fans. But for me, I'm just more kind of, hurt for the team because I know how badly they want it. I know how much they are putting in effort. I feel like they went through so much this season between obviously having basically no off season and then all the injuries and Jimmy having COVID along with none. So for me, I don't feel embarrassed. I'm just kind of sad for the team and for the fan base.
So right now it's just kind of the disappointing side of things, right?
Yeah, disappointing, and just, the fact that we made it to the point we were at, I will be fully honest, and I've been saying this, I didn't even think we were going to make the playoffs. So to not only avoid the play-in, but to just get a seed and get a spot and get in it, and now this is how it's going. And again, I'm not someone who necessarily was sitting here saying Heat in 5. I knew this was going to be a struggle, and I didn't even think we were going to make it out, but to not even, have won one game yet. I just wanted to put up a fight. I felt like this team at least deserved that much. Listen, however, do I think that there's a chance we win the next game? I kind of do. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if there's one thing we've learned from the season, it's kind of to expect the unexpected. So I feel like if there were ever a team, not just it being the Miami Heat, but this year's Miami Heat to do it, it might be them. If they win, I don't think they're going to get out of the series, but I would just like to at least avoid getting swept.
So that's the big thing. The gentleman's sweep then is what you want. Doesn't that hurt a little bit more, Alana?
No, I don't think so because, at least get one win. You know what I mean? Just prove that you could do it. And listen, to your point, was at game 1, and we almost had it. We were so close, and I think we just got gassed. Which kind of seems to be a theme moving, through the season, but obviously through the playoffs too. And it just sucks that we couldn't just at least get that one because, going into that, I had been saying I felt like game 1 was the most important game. Part of that was because I felt like if we weren't going to win game 1, I didn't know what was going to happen after that. And I was proved right. We didn't win game 1, and now look at us.
Yeah, that's the one that you should have taken. That game 1 of all of them, and maybe we're talking about maybe this series is a little bit different coming into game 3. Maybe you have that game 1 where you should have won and Chris Middleton daggers at the end, and then you get blown out in game 2. Maybe if you have that game 1 under your belt and you have game 2, you do get blown out, you still at least know a little bit. All right, well, we know we can beat this team. Do you think maybe it's a little bit of a mental aspect right now where maybe they don't know if they can actually beat this Milwaukee Bucks team?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of this season, it's interesting because as much, as we've dealt with actual physical problems with injuries and COVID-related matters, I actually think the mental side of things has deterred us from being successful more so. I think around, the trade deadline, guys like Duncan and Tyler were really struggling because they didn't know what was going to happen. I think at the end of the season, the fact that they were kind of teetering on the edge of maybe having to play in or missing the playoffs overall definitely got to them. And I think now everything is mental. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that all of a sudden Bam has regressed the way he has. We can talk all day about, last year being a fluke or whatnot, which I am so sick of that narrative. But it seems like Bam is a completely different player. And unless we're missing something and there's an injury people aren't talking about, I really think it's all mental.
So you think it's just kind of dealing with that mental aspect? And again, we're talking with Alana Tahauer here on the show. You just think it's the mental thing. You think that maybe it's just getting broken down to the point where they maybe aren't able to build themselves back up right now.
Yeah, and, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that it has been, they had a condensed offseason. They were dealing with injury. And so physically, they are definitely worn down and we are kind of beat up. But I think more so than anything else, it's the mental aspect of it because guys just don't look like themselves. I think my biggest problem, especially last night, was there looked like there was no effort. And I tweeted this out. Bam looked like he had given up completely. And I think it was like second quarter at this point, which is just upsetting because to me, if you're going hard and still losing, then I can respect that. And you've done everything you can. But to kind of be out there, a lot of the players, their body language is just trash.
So, I think that's. Do you also have like a lot? I guess because I know you said get ready for it. Is there a lot maybe off your chest that you need to get as well? Kind of just about, kind of like you said, like the body language and everything happening right now.
Yeah, and Michael and I, on our podcast from this week, it was basically 40 minutes of us arguing because what I'm most upset about.
He was like, we're sitting there getting ready for our show, and he was like, man, he's like, me and Alana, yeah, we joke around. He's like, but we were really arguing the other day, and we were actually going back and forth about whose fault it was and this and that. Is it Bam? Is it Jimmy? So how like.
And that was like on the episode. If you guys would have heard what was leading up to it and after, and actually he called me last night. I think it was still during the game, and we almost got into it again. And I was like, we are not doing this. Like the game is still on. But for me, and I had said this on our show, what's more upsetting is kind of the lack of effort and also kind of the lack of accountability. I think Jimmy's great at that. I think Jimmy is very good at recognizing what's his fault and also calling other players out. Goran called Bam out publicly. I just don't feel like everyone is being as vocal about the problems. And yeah, that's somewhat a personality thing. Some guys, are more comfortable speaking to the media than others. But from Bam, I just want to see him sit there and say that things have gotten to him. He sees his regression and he knows, his part in being defeated. And to me, it just seems like he almost doesn't care, or he's just ready to call this season a wash and move on. And I'm just getting a little bit frustrated.
So, Alana, on something that I think to get off of the frustration and as we round out here, I do want to say on another topic. So I had my brunch last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Everything was great. So one of my friends that was there, who I became, we were kind of acquaintances more so, and then through mimosas, drunkenness, and also just emotional things, we became very close friends throughout all of that. She was on as soon as everything's going, we're all vibing really well, and she's like one of the other people that's kind of in the friend group as well, like that and everything, right? She immediately turns to me and says, "What sign are you? I need to know why it is that this is like we're all vibing and why her and this other friend are all vibing, and then we argue with this other person." So it was a whole day of there was an hour worth, Alana, of explanations on the water sign stuff and why certain signs go with this. And I think it's for the first time, and maybe it's because I was mimosa drunk, but I think it's the first time, Alana, that I actually understood what was happening in this world of astrology. I think you'd be very proud.
I am proud. Can I get a baby bit of credit for that? Maybe 10% credit
for sure,
putting that in your mind?
Without a doubt. It was very interesting because she was describing a lot of different things about how certain things worked, and it started to really make sense in my mind. And I was sitting there kind of wondering why it is that this was happening, but everything really was making sense. Like, she was a water sign, and I'm a water sign. I guess water signs are supposed to get along well. And then there's another thing, I don't remember what our other friend is, but I guess the water sign and then what his sign is, they meshed bad together, and she was going to the explanations of it. It's like, that's why you guys might get into little arguments, even though you're best friends. And it was like, wow, actually this is making a lot of sense.
We love to hear it. Baby steps. Imagine this time next year what you'll know.
No, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole chart thing. I mean, I know some of my friends do the chart stuff. That will never happen. But I do think it makes a little more sense. So when I see these things or something like that, I'll at least understand about what's going on a little bit more,
You know what? I will take whatever you can give me, and I never say never, so I'm not giving up on the chart thing either.
Oh no, it's there. That will absolutely never happen. But Alana, thank you so much for coming on. I try to enjoy, I guess, the rest of this weekend as much as you possibly can, even though it's probably going to be a little bit sad.
Listen, I'm still moving forward with we can take the game tomorrow, so positive vibes.
All right, positive vibes, positive energy. Again, you can follow her on Twitter at Alana Tahauer, and you can go there and enjoy all of her takes, as well as follow the podcast that she has with my guy Michael Christian as well, because everyone knows Michael gets into arguments as well, and that dynamic is really good. So, Alana, have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Start your morning every day 8 a.m. with Toasted Sports. Toast covers all local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and view the podcast, Toasted Sports, 8 to 10 a.m., only at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes, but I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I have PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your Above window fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A shade above window fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A shade above window fashion.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Miami Heat season almost over. One game to go. That's tomorrow at 1:30. After another no-show performance, losing to the Bucks 113-84. Jim Ward, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Also in the NBA playoffs last night, the Lakers take a 2-1 lead on the Suns with a 105-95 win. And the Nuggets, they're now up 2-1 on the Blazers after 120-115 victory. The Miami Marlins, they failed to reach a 500 record once again, losing yesterday to the Phillies 3-2. Yimi Garcia picked up the loss. The Marlins are 12-12 at home this season, and now they set their Fenway Park for a weekend series with the Boston Red Sox. Cody Poteet will get the start. First pitch 7:10, and don't forget tomorrow night right here on OnSideRadio.com and then right here at Dry Pink Stadium. A full capacity crowd will watch Inter Miami CF welcome DC United to the pitch. Inter Miami CF pregame show with Big O and Alex Dono will get you started at 7 o'clock. The call of the match, Eric Krakauer, Fernando Fiore, 8 o'clock. You are listening to the only locally owned South Florida sports talk station. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a 168123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
So Sean, I have to ask, because it's something that I've now seen, and I find it, I don't know if maybe hilarious is the right word, but also kind of part of me is a little bit upset with all of it. Have you seen the stuff happening right now with Kwame Brown and his YouTube channel?
Not on top of it as I should be, but yeah, I've watched bits and pieces of that.
What do you make of it? As I this sounds so mean. As someone who might have seen, because I've never seen Kwame Brown actually play basketball, or kind of was in the times in which he was getting ragged on 24/7. Of course, everyone thinks of him as one of the biggest, if not the time. Anthony Bennett might get that credit. I mean, first round pick, only played 1 year for the Cavaliers and then disappeared off the face of the earth. But what do you make of kind of how he's been coming out? I mean, he's been talking about the stuff that he had to deal with from Stephen A. Smith, from Steven Jackson, from Charlemagne the God. He's been really going at a lot of people, and no one would have, I don't think, of all the things you could possibly predict to happen in 2021, happening right now is Kwame Brown getting apologies from Steven Jackson and Charlemagne the God, and then getting ragged on again by Stephen A. Smith. What do you make of all of what's happening right now?
It's a chance for him to get back at everybody, right? Or what he feels is getting back at everybody, and you're slowly seeing everything roll out. And again, it's what this era has allowed the by your self voice, hop on social media, YouTube, create a podcast, and now you have a voice.
Do you think it's like when you said the voiceless, it's funny because I think of that CM Punk thing where he says, I'm the voice of the voiceless, when he's going through all those promos when they had him do that stuff, and him and John Cena and everything. That's like the first thing that came into my head. But did you see like the and kind of how he been going on or not?
I haven't seen any of the response. I've only really followed the ones with Kwame.
Wait a minute, you're missing something.
What am I missing?
He went on SportsCenter and took out a 2-minute blooper video.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Stephen A. Smith response.
Yeah. Oh, okay, because I didn't know if you got that, but
no,
he like took it to another level.
Yeah. I is back. What do you make of it? I think it's just so. I didn't like the response.
I think it's Kwame Brown being all sensitive. He should have played better. Should have been a better player. Should have been a better professional, and he wasn't. And so whether it's him or Harold Miner or whatever, bro, busts happen all the time. Willie Burton, bro. I mean, you're a little young, so you don't know about those.
Anthony. Literally picked no, just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just up and just disappeared off the face
a
of the
Michael
earth.
Jordan selection, Kwame Brown.
I like how that's what it leads off with. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's like Michael Jordan really did select Kwame Brown.
Yeah, and he selected another big goofball that didn't do well either.
He selected a lot of bad players.
He's the worst. He's as bad an exec as great as he is.
Yeah. But that happens. I mean, even Larry Bird wasn't a good executive for the Pacers.
The Jerry Wests don't exist.
Yeah.
They're impossible to find.
Elway is not that
Ozzie
great.
Newsome is the other one, who was a great tight end.
Oh, my God, though.
He was a great tight end. You're way too young for it, but him and Brian Sipe and the boys, they were absolutely fantastic. So, yeah.
I mean, he as an insane. But in the Kwame, I make of it in the way where I think it's a little bit hilarious. I really do. I think that it is pretty funny to kind of see happening and to see what's going on. At the same time, again, I think I look at it and I continue to think to myself, who would have thought that in the year 2021, Kwame Brown is popping in the news. He has getting a very popular YouTube channel from him just talking and off from people for ragging on him. And you hear the real side of Kwame Brown, and it's Sean mentioned it. It's the voice of the voiceless, the guy that actually gets to now be able to speak up. And I think there's two parts to it. I think a lot of what was happening to Kwame when he was in the league, I think some of it was a little bit too much. I personally, I think some of it was a little bit too much, and I think kind of how he got.
You have to
ragged
remember
on.
that.
Yes,
it's a little bit.
Yeah,
different time.
And I'm
not saying it's right. I'm just saying it was a different time.
Oh no. Yeah, I completely agree. And I think when you look at it, it's just, I think some of it was a little too intense. But like you said, it's completely different, and that's kind of how it was when you start to be able to see these personalities of sports people as well. I mean, this is stuff that me as a kid wanting to get into sports media was looking at and watching and on and taking that and make going at a lot of things, but then also kind of like the highlights. I mean, a lot of people grew up, ESPN and everything like that, and you saw the highlights and you also saw different things of it. For me, how I saw everything and the thing that I see now is I've always seen Kwame Brown as one of the biggest busts in NBA history, and it'll never go down otherwise. Now, he did play, to his credit, I believe 12 to 13 years in the NBA, and that is there. You have to, I guess, put it out there, but I think it's interesting, and it alludes to what you're saying, kind of the new age of where we are right now, currently, even though the month's going to end pretty soon here. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And you've had a lot of people talking about kind of their mental health, and I think what Kwame is doing right now is kind of saying, it's and he admitted himself on one of his IG lives, I was not a great basketball player, but to make sure that I got is to get stuff for my family and provide for my family. It's that was my goal. Saying, my goal was to make sure that my family was right and had the opportunities that they could have. And at the end of the day, he did that. No one knows in terms of taxes and anything else, but the reported projected amount of money that he made while he was in the NBA was $64 million. And hey, that even half of that, the $30 million, $32 million, is great for him, his family, his kids, his kids' kids, as long as money is dealt with correctly. And I do have to give it up for calling. He's speaking and we're seeing a lot of that now with even sport. I mean, Naomi Osaka came out and said she's not going to, speak at the next tournament there for tennis. And she said herself, the fine could be up to $20,000. She said, if I get fined, I want you to at least put that fine and put that $20,000 into something else. I want you to put that $20,000 into mental health awareness. And I think for as much of a joke as Kwame was as a player, and I much from kind of that response, I think some of the ways that Kwame went about it were wrong. I also think some of the ways that Kwame went about it were, there's different ways. Kwame took some personal digs. I think there were also personal digs taken at Kwame throughout his entire career. But I think a lot of what he said was very true. A lot of what he said kind of is prevalent in what is happening right now and what's happened throughout his life. So I definitely think that he too much. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's cool. Again, it's that voice of the voiceless thing and getting out there and speaking and getting your mind and your thoughts and everything heard. So I think that that's awesome for Kwame. And, you know, I just think it's an interesting situation. I don't think we've ever seen something like this where a player is kind of hitting a comeback like that. So that's also pretty cool there. So we're going to round now. I want to thank everyone for coming out here in the chat and having a conversation with me throughout this morning. Of course, to Troy, my father, Uber, Mike, who else is in there? NorCal, Ian, Jay, and Troy. Really appreciate all you guys coming out and having a conversation. We will have our crosstalk here live in studio with Big O as he is back, and he will be ready to have a conversation. Of course, you heard now. You'll from him. So you're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. You're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your Lux, Bandle your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux. Follow them on Instagram. Lux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes. Miami and shop. Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, Miami Road Brewing Company, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with just in a dealership. From home buying touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brat, potato, mustard, and lots here. Take their famous boot tour challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat rated Checkers Old Munchin.
That it's springtime, South Florida. Your business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing service for over service. Korner Preventative Maintenance Plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
At OnsideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
It was a fun season, but as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. The Panthers put up a good fight in forcing a Game 6, but the defending champion Cats with Wednesdays. Goaltender Spencer Knight did what he could to keep Florida in the game, stopping 20 shots, including several point-blank opportunities during the first two periods, but it was Tampa goalie Andrei Vasilevskiy that stole the show. The likely Vezina Trophy finalist was a brick wall, stopping everything the Panthers threw his way and frustrating the Cats at every turn. Now Tampa will move on to face the winner of the Carolina out their lockers and head into the offseason wondering what could have been.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching Onside Radio, your home for South Florida sports. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Oh! Welcome back.
I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, you should.
No. The doc first thing to ease into it because he knows me.
Yeah.
Apparently, I had no idea when I walked in to know that you're Big O, aren't you? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, all right. So you got some problems. Because obviously I could barely talk when he heard me. And he heard me yesterday. He was like, wow, night and day. And I go, yeah, it's a miracle what a polyp will do in the center of your damn vocal cords. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, I haven't felt bad at any point whatsoever. As everybody knows, I've been working all week. Yeah. I just haven't been able to do what I normally do for 31 years, which is be behind a mic. But I've been doing everything else, obviously, for the station. So I feel good, man. I'm just glad to be back, and we'll crank out a strong 2 hours today because the doc wants me to ease back into it. He doesn't want me to do all 3 hours, and so we got three great guests. We got Ira Winderman at 12:30. We got Andre Fernandez talking Little Marlins at 1. We got Omar Kelly at 1:30. So we are absolutely loaded with those guys there. So
you gotta love what you're probably gonna get out of Ira, considering what's been happening.
Yeah,
especially after last night.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm going to talk a lot about it, but I'm kind of the wrong person to ask because I said they were a first-round exit.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of hope. I'll say what I'm going to say on my show, at least a little tidbit. I was wrong last year. Last year I thought they were an early exit, and then they pulled out this miracle, and what I thought they were last year is what they really are, and that's what showed up this year. Last year, they were a complete fluke. They were in a situation in a bubble, and they were able to take advantage of it. The screwed up part is if they stay healthy, they have a legit shot at winning the title.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if Bam and Goran, and, you know, this whole BS of waiting for Goran to play like he played last year, that's not going to happen anymore. Okay? It's just not going to happen.
We're past those years now.
Yeah, dude, enough already. It's just they are who I thought they were last year. To go late Dennis Green on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Rest in peace, Denny Green. But yeah, they are who I thought they were last year, and last year they fooled me, and they made a run that I would have never expected. And this year, I kind of said they were a mediocre bunch, and a lot of people also fell into the trap that down the stretch they won a bunch of games. They played a bunch of scrubs down the stretch. They had a terrible schedule in the last month and a half of the season that they didn't play a lot of strong teams. So that's why they beefed up their record, but they're nothing special, and that's why they're getting spanked now, unfortunately.
What do you make of Spencer Knight? I guess that's the other big thing that's
happened. I love it.
That's awesome. Even
listen,
with the loss,
I didn't think the kid was going to bail you out. You're asking so much against the Stanley Cup champions. It's unfair to ask a 20-year-old, hey, kid, you were playing junior hockeys. Now we want you to carry us to the cup. And you're playing the best team in the world right now in hockey in Tampa Bay. That's the bad luck for the Panthers, that they had that draw. They had that division, which that division was brutal, obviously. So, but I love everything about the Panthers right now. They changed their culture. They're tough. Okay, Zito made the changes. He saw a lot of the things that I said last year about this team, and he changed their entire culture. Now you've got the young goaltender. Sadly, they're straddled with the same Luongo problem. Luongo's contract was 7,000 years long, and he was overpaid for years, and they had to keep Louis around. And we never saw the Louis that was in Vancouver, dude, never. And unfortunately now, Bob will be the most expensive backup in NHL history because they can't get rid of him for a long time. The cap hit is $10 million every year. They can't avoid that whatsoever. The best plan is what Toe said. Somebody's got to, he's got to like break a leg or something and got to go get some surgery, and then they can pull the Tampa Bay Lightning thing. Oh, we can use this $10 million salary for something else. Let's do it. Let's load up. So I'm with Toast on that one. Let's convince Bob to have some kind of season-ending surgery on the first week of the regular season, and then that way, you can replace him
there.
Because it's going to be and remember, they have the Canadian kid in the minors
really well right now,
who's another monster in the making. So it's funny how we went through all these years since Beezer with no goalie, and now we've got the youngster and another youngster that maybe are the answer.
Yeah.
Because was it Marcia Salt, right? Yeah, he's not the answer. He's going to be a backup, and, that's not the guy.
Future's bright. Future is very, very bright.
It.
Well, welcome back.
You.
You're going to have a great show, of course, and then thanks to everyone who's tuned out throughout the week. Of course, stay around for Big O's show, and then we will catch you guys again next Monday here at Kai's Corner. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-46.